So now it came time to sell, and how did you meet up first with Tom and what happened then?
I think you gave him a call to touch base with him first, let him know that we were planning to sell. And they had been sending us lots of communication and emails and sort of keeping in touch over the years, probably anticipating that we might be selling in the future anyways. So then you let him know and talk to him, and he booked an initial consultation with us, came over and just sort of took a walk through our house to get a feel for it, talked to us about our plans and when we were thinking of selling and that, but we weren't laying out anything firm. We were just sort of, you know, having a bit of a casual conversation about everything at first.
Okay, so what fix-ups, if any, did Tom recommend you do before listing your home? I don't imagine there were many.
No, he gave us some ideas with our front window. That has kind of been, since we've been here, we didn't know what to do with that, so he gave us some ideas there, and he gave us some ideas for, I guess, better furniture placement, putting bigger furniture in bigger rooms and things like that. And he told us to put some plants in the house, so he definitely had some ideas that we didn't think of.
He helped us narrow down our focus on renovations, because when he first came to consult with us on the house, it was in the middle of renovations at the time, so he'd seen the house completely unfinished and helped us, you know, focus on the things that we should put most of our effort into.
So how did the selling process start with Thomas?
I guess we had a couple consultations, I think 2. He came over and looked at everything, and then once we were finally finished the renovations and ready to go, he came over and we signed our listing agreement. We told him we needed a couple more days, so he waited a little while, and then I guess he put it on the market, and he did most of the work from there.
What was the scariest part and the most exciting about selling?
I guess scariest is probably worrying that maybe you think your house is worth more than everybody else does, and that maybe we weren't going to get any offers on the house. So that was that's a little unnerving before you know how that's going to play out.
Most exciting was probably the first day that it was listed, and seeing all the pictures and seeing the listing on the website, seeing everything come together and how nice everything looked, and then getting all those first initial viewings being booked, and a lot of excitement the first day.
So how important do you think having the full color feature sheet, the video, and the web presence was to getting your home sold?
I think it was I think the feature sheet I think it's probably one of the most important things. Like, I know one of the things Tom mentioned, and having purchased a home through them as well, you look at 5 houses in a day and you go home and you can't specifically remember what any feature belonged to at any house. So having a feature sheet like that, you get to go home and you can look at it again and remember what you saw that day. So I think that was very important.
And what about the rest of the web presence, the digital aspect being, like you mentioned, it was exciting seeing it all there. How do you think that impacted the selling?
I think nowadays you have to have a web presence with anything you do, especially selling a house. Any savvy buyer is probably going to want to take a look online, and most likely it's where they're initially going to see the property before they even come to look at it. They'll probably do an initial quick look online and see if they like it, if they can access the site.
So what happened when an offer came in, and how was the whole process handled, the offer process by Tom?
He'd give us a call and let us know that there was an offer, or contact us through email, however he could get a hold of us. Sometimes it's hard to get a hold of us in the middle of the day. And then we would touch base, and he would go over all the details of the offer. And if there was multiple offers, then he would list out and compare them sort of all side by side, so that we knew what the pros and cons of each offer were. Then he would help us narrow down onto a specific offer, and give his recommendations onto what we should request as a counter offer, what we would want adjusted.
Yeah, he went through and adjusted some of the conditions that the buyer had. He would adjust those suit us better, I guess. So it was, yeah, he was, again, very knowledgeable in the whole process.
Okay, so some overall final thoughts about the selling process and how it impacted you.
Well, we were definitely happy with the way the process
Very happy,
went.
yeah.
We're definitely happy with how much we were able to sell the house for. So
Yeah, it's nice, again, it just the same as the buying, it's nice to know that you have somebody on your side who really knows what they're doing, and you're comfortable just leaving it in their hands, because they have to do a lot of the work. You know, once your house is listed, it's your real estate agent that's doing all the work. So it's nice to know that, you know, you're relying on somebody who knows what he's doing, and, you know, who again has been in the industry for so long. It makes it a lot easier for you.
Okay, so would you recommend Tom and Sally, and why?
Yeah, we actually have recommended Tom and Sally to friends, and we definitely wouldn't hesitate to do so again. They both made our selling and buying process just so much easier. Both of them could have been a lot more complicated than they were. So
I think they're both very good for first-time buyers or sellers, in that they have a strong personality that gives you that push you need into the right direction.
yeah, definitely as a first-time home buyer, you need somebody to keep pushing you along in
Pointing you in the
right
right
direction. And yeah, both of them are fantastic to work with.
Great, thank you.